All right. Good morning and afternoon. Jeez. Oh my gosh. It wouldn't be a Monday, right, without something going wrong. First time I had an encoder key error. I was supposed to start several minutes ago, and I usually like doing my little intro music and getting things going. And the best laid plans, right? It's always the best laid plans, and then you're throwing off your game. So sorry about a little bit of a late start. Okay, so hey, we actually made it to Washington and opened up Washington. So that's pretty far out. Let me make sure you're saying things. Forgive me, I am scrambling. Scrambling. So yeah, we made it into Washington. And when I first looked up here, I want to keep going north, so I went as north looking as I could find. And I see this little place here called CHENEY. And I'm thinking to myself, man, that's going to be boring. Everything's boring. And then you open up Google and start looking, and you're like, oh, that's pretty cool, and that's pretty cool, and that's pretty cool. And I think if you stick around, you might enjoy some of the things that we're going to look at today. There's not a lot. It's probably not going to be a really, really long show. But there's some interesting things to be seen here. I did find out, looking at the map, that we actually opened up Walla Walla, Washington, too. Walla Walla and Walla Walla East and College Place. And maybe tomorrow that's where we're going to be. Because I just like saying Walla Walla. Didn't you when you would hear it in cartoons as when you were a kid? Like Bugs Bunny cartoons? It gets even funnier than that. The actual tribe name, one pronunciation is Walla Walla Llama. I'm not kidding you. Why would I lie? Walla Walla Llama. Even that's funny. Okay, so we'll do a short job up here. And so this place was named after, and we're going to have to look into this place too. Here's Starbucks. This place was not named after Dick Cheney. It was named long before Mr. Cheney. All right. And it's got a university here. And there's an Air Force base nearby that I think they train ninjas. Okay. I really do. So, be careful when you're here. You might run into a ninja. So let me quickly look at some of the jobs that we have available to us here. Please give me a plane that I actually enjoy flying. No, of course not. Of course not. Why would we do that? That's close enough. A Robin Cap 10, sure. I don't even know what the job is. I just like the plane, so I'll take it. Jennifer Smith always dreamt of flying over her hometown. She knows the area like the back of her hand. But it'd be a real treat to show it to her from above CHENEY. Okay? So we'll accept that. So yeah, as you can imagine, there's been a lot of history in this place. There's been a lot of history everywhere. And, I don't know what the term is, not to be goofy, but you got to dig for it. Honey, I don't know. What's the proper way to say that here? Yeah, but you do have to dig for it. But there's been people living here for a long time. So we're going to kind of stick to like cowboy Indian days as we look at the past here. Alt-T, really, we're not going to set up anything today, huh? I don't even see the aircraft when I spawn in. Where? Oh, hello. There you are.
Send a guest.
Okay, on their way. Okay. I need to make sure that Wichita is up and running again. Starting late, so I'm not on top of things right at the moment. But I'm getting there. I'm going to try to be better tomorrow. Okay, so we have our map now. And let me go ahead and make sure that it's active. Okay, I've got a little flashing green light down there in the corner. Pushtalk AFB client. And we've appeared on the map. So you get a quick glance at where we are. And we are up here now. I wish they would make the states look a little bit more delineated out here. I really wish they would make the states look delineated in the world map and the simulator. Okay, we were here. Quick recap. We were down here in Boise. This is how far we've opened up. Try to find Boise again. I think somebody's down here near Boise. Either way, we were down here, and my favorite comedian was playing there this weekend, and doing the flight around there, we opened up all this up here. So, but this up here seemed to be kind of even some of the more interesting spots as I looked around. Pardon me. Okay. All right. Well, let's put the map back. But we're active now. Let me make sure I'm actually logged in out here on this site here. We're logged in or out? Successfully logged out. Shouldn't have clicked. Okay, so we're logged back in. If there are any audio, then there should be a couple audio places. Audio tours we're going to get. But let's do this job real quick. What interesting, lovely live weather. We've been having real clear skies here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And so,
good day for flying.
It's nice to just see some weather.
Hey, Captain, meet Jennifer. She's keen on discovering the sights around CHENEY. She's one of our friends, so I'm counting on you to treat her well and show her around. By the way, I'm sure you'll have a great time with her. She's super nice and curious to know more about our aviation world.
Okay. As you can hear, things are awful quiet, so let me turn things up a little bit for you. Just a touch.
Has your passenger fastened her seatbelt? Then you're ready to depart.
I don't think they ever put their seatbelts on. I don't even see a passenger. Oh, there she is. Ma'am, Jennifer. You're supposed to be in here. Jennifer, get off the wing. She gonna be out there the whole time?
12 Whiskey Alpha traffic kin Echo India Victor 6 tree 1.
She's walking on sunshine.
To runway tree.
Well, there's really not a lot I can do about it.
This is my home region, you know?
It is.
Sorry, I tend to talk a lot when I'm nervous or when I get emotional. I'm Jennifer, by the way.
She is Jennifer, by the way. By the by. Well, that's just so strange. What's going on with the aircraft? Oh, there we go. Are you going to move? It doesn't want to move. Is it broken? Starting out our day that way too? No, we're not paused. You can see the plane wants to move. Look at the throttle and everything. Look at the gauges. You see, I've got speed built up. Let me try the manual key on the keyboard. Nope. All right, well, let's try to restart. Well, I had a pretty decent time this weekend. How about yourself? Everything go all right?
Send the guest. Okay, on their way.
You know me, I love talking about food, and I love food. I think that is one of the things that comes up. Trying to look at like the analytics and different things about YouTube and this and that, and like who's watching. People that like food, which is awesome. I mean, but I do end up talking about food a lot.
Hey, Captain, meet Jennifer. She's keen on discovering the sights around Cheney.
Let me see if this thing will unpause.
And show her around. By the way, I'm sure you'll have a great
I can't get the aircraft to move. I'm just trying to move it.
As your passenger,
I'd like to move it.
then you're ready to depart.
Maybe the brakes for this. Maybe we've never really used the Robin, but I can't imagine. If it's using this profile and that profile, then there shouldn't be a problem. Brakes. Yeah. What is it on the keyboard? Control number delete.
Engine started. Let's go.
Is there a control number and a delete? That's the same key. Uh-huh. That doesn't make any sense. Well, the one way to skin this cat, and I should have just done that to begin with. Fine. But that really doesn't help, does it? Let's see if we can take off now.
12 Whiskey Alpha traffic, Kin, Echo India Victor 6, Tree 11, taking off runway Tree west departure.
Oh. I am so sorry. I am stalling what should be a fantastic show. And we're going to go look at cool things. Do you like shows about wildlife, Bobby? Oh, there, try that one.
It's a bit scary, but still exciting. Mostly exciting.
Bum, 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 bum. I've just wasted everybody's time trying to figure this out. I'm probably going to get some infractions. I call this Infraction Monday. I don't care about your taxi speeds. And talk about the noise being low. I don't even hear the wheels bouncing. Okay. All right, all right, all right. So I found out the Seattle Seahawks.
I could get used to this.
You could. Should. I'm a big pilot like myself here in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Seattle Seahawks. You like football, Bobby? They in recent times have used CHENEY as their training. You know, what do they call it? The preseason training camp. Training camp. And when I was looking over things on this place, and that popped out. It's a lovely little plot down there. Yeah. So Eastern, we'll get to it. They have it's mostly a college town, it seems. Again, they do have the Air Force. Oh, too fast.
Eastern Washington University is a public university in Cheney, Washington, with programs offered at campuses in Cheney, U.S. Spokane, at the River Point.
Oh, good, you can hear it.
Multiple campus locations throughout the state. Founded in 1882, the university is academically divided into 6 colleges: the College of Arts, Letters and Education, the College of Business and Public Administration, the College of Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics, the College of Social Sciences, the College of Health Science and Public Health, and University College. As of fall 2014, Eastern Washington University enrolled over 13,000 graduate and undergraduate students at both its Cheney and Spokane campuses.
Yeah, she's out there on the wing still. You're crazy, Jennifer, and I'm outside the plane. Look at my head sticking out. What a trip.
You can see every detail.
That's a funny clip just to have right there. This lady did not like my flying. She chose to walk instead.
I don't want to leave this seat.
So as soon as we're done with the roundabout here and we've concluded our stuff with Jennifer, I'm going to pause it. We'll throw out the drone and we'll have a nice long look at Cheney. Now, if you're old like me, you actually may remember TV shows like Wild West shows where like the cavalry was coming to save the day. And even the numbers on my plane are freaking out today. Wow, what a strange image. Okay, so, and there's kind of a story like that here too. And I don't want to take sides in conflicts of the past. And I don't want to, you know, the past is what it is, right? So I don't want to be all, the white man did this against, da, 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 da. I don't really care. I do, but that's, you know, this is no place for it. But, there was an incident here where they were having problems with at least 4 tribes in the area. In this case, not the Walla Walla Llama. It was 3 other groups, but the Walla Walla Llamas weren't part of it. They were a little ways down southwest. And I believe it, you know, of course, it was a conflict of cultures. And so the Indians got mad and started whacking people. There's the building that I put in the cover art today. I just thought it was interesting. This is part of the university over here. That building right there. So yeah, there's not a lot to this place, which actually is charming. It is. If you live in a city that's somewhat big, or you live in a big city, kind of like what we saw on Friday, Sao Paulo, Brazil. Wow. Talk about congested. Then you can appreciate people wanting to just live in someplace as small as this. Now, out on this main road, I'm going to get back in the plane for this. There's that turn in the road over there. You know, it has all the amenities. I mean, there's some stores over there, but I think we have your Burger King, Jimmy John's, or, you know, anything that you'd want. They've got plenty of great pubs and different types of restaurant, Mexican food and Chinese food, and again, classic Americana diner food.
Hey, it's shaking.
Well, wrong view for, oh no. Certain views in this, oh my goodness. When you switch to certain views in the simulator, for example, if I'm in this mode, I can still control the plane.
Still pretty bumpy.
Okay, yeah, it is, Jennifer. We're gonna not get a big score. I wanted to show everybody the McDonald's and stuff, Jennifer. So if you're in this view, you can control things pretty good while you're flying around. If you switch to drone view, all right, now I have no authority, joystick authority whatsoever, and that's what happened. So as I was unpausing it, I left it in, and then there's another one of them where it's not in that view.
Plane was coming off.
Yeah, like this view, where you're locked in and you still can't control anything. So 2 views that you switch to can get you killed, like you just saw. It didn't bother Jennifer. She's still out on the wing there.
I'm glad to fly over the region. There are some great stories about it to share back home. Can you make the turbulence stop?
Sure. You know me, normally I'm not a wacko to our virtual and our NPCs, but I think today, wow, that's just the wind, I think. Yeah. So there really is a problem up here with the wind and running this plane. So when I tipped over, I couldn't. And this looks like a plane that you're supposed to do aerobatics in. I just could not get her under control. All right, as I said, there's a nature reserve around here, and I wanted to fly over to that. But first, let's check out this cool little stuff on this hill over here. Just their local radio station. Oh, this is an airport.
I'm glad to fly over the region. There are some great stories about it to share back home.
All right. Let's go back over here to Bush Talk. Do the preserve. Should be right. Yeah. Okay. So all we need to do is turn directly south. This whole area right here, Turnbull National Wildlife Refuge. So let's do a pass down here, and then we'll come over to this fishing area, fish trap recreation area, and have a look at that. And then these are the other towns that are nearby that they said to fly over, and that's Medical Lake and Airway Heights. And on our way towards Spokane is Four Lakes. All right, and this brings us to the story about the cavalry and the Indians. It took place right here, and I made this entry. I don't know if it's up and running yet. No, but I can read you what I created there for that point once we get back. Okay. All right, lady, hang on. I do love the purple color in the clouds today. We need to hear something more. The environment, the chassis, something. Do I have it in headphone mode? I do. There we go. All right, we're south.
The view. It really is a whole new world.
Wasn't that the song from Aladdin? A Whole New World? All right, we're entering the wildlife refuge. Average view duration of my stream is 17 seconds. People are tuning in and then they go, oh, that guy. And then they tune out. While you're here, if you would please, at least if you're stopping in, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. What can I do to make more live streams, make the live streams more fun for you, that you stick around longer than 17 seconds? How do I, other than crashing the plane, I can see that comment now. Stop crashing your plane, man. Please, I am all ears. Constructive criticism. Now, and always is your time to let me know what you think I'm doing wrong, what you think I'm doing right. And
Wait to tell everyone back home about this.
is there anything I can do to make these, to make you stick around longer? Tea, sandwiches, coffee, cakes? What can I do? Anything? Tell me. Because the YouTube algorithm, when it's like, dude, you've had 4 people tuned in and they average a 17-second viewing time. You're no Mr. Beast. Yeah, I get that. I get that. But you get to see this beautiful virtual digital world. Not virtual. Yeah, I mean, it is virtual, I guess. But this beautiful digital earth that we get to fly in. That's just a marvel in itself. And you get to see Jennifer walking on the wing of the plane and learn about history, and we get to do some role playing occasionally.
Than I could ever have imagined.
Maybe that can just stop griping so much. Yeah, I get you. All right, this is a big place. That's cool. More animals should know. I mean, that's probably a USA aid project, is informing animals of their options of different wildlife reserve, wildlife refuge places for them to go to. Wonder how much we spend annually on trying to educate animals on where the best refuge areas are across the United States. You wonder if they get a lot of junk mail. Like, you should be in Washington. I think you would like to live in Washington near CHENEY, and there's not a whole lot of people there, just college kids and ninjas. Nope. There's still this fishing area over here. A little further than I thought. It looks out to be about 1 o'clock, 5 to 10 miles. We point the nose in that direction. Boink. I really enjoyed traveling through Idaho, folks. I really enjoyed the soft, lushy looking terrain. They definitely have some deep gorges and valleys too, and even those are really nice and pleasant. There's not too much in the environment that's harsh. Could see why everybody would want to run around back in the day without their shoes on out here. Probably about 5 miles on the map I'm looking at. If I have it right and judging the distances, which I probably don't. All right, we're getting here close enough. All these little lakes down here. This is all called the Fish Trap Recreational Area. And looking down, yeah, lots of little streams, and then you got some nice lakes all over the place. Man, lakes everywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you got they're all probably connected by little streams, so the best of all kinds of fishing worlds, stream fishing and lake fishing, and I'll bet it's just in general a great place to go camping and hang out. All right. Okay, let's turn north now. And we are going to now head up back to CHENEY, and then a little to the northwest to skirt those other little towns that they said to take a look at. And then we're going to get to both the Air Force Base, where they train ninjas mostly, and the area of the battle that took place between the Indians and the cavalry. It seems like it was a lot of little, it's a lot of little short stuff. Somebody gets mad at somebody here, somebody does something there, and it just builds up and builds up and builds up. So I think everything was kind of building to a head to this battle. I wonder if I can slew faster than this. I wonder if I can do it in this view. No. All right, so I see 3 big lakes ahead of me. So looking at the nose at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 1 o'clock. Those 3 lakes. And at the moment, I can't tell which one it's referring to. But this area of CHENEY is called Medical Lake. So it could be the one in the middle up ahead. It's so funny, and then you get an area like this little area right there that's completely looks like it's the desert. Just out of nowhere, this area is like, nah, we don't want anything to grow here. We just want to be leave us alone. Was it deforestation? What was it? It's just naturally that way. Did we get... I don't think we heard the audio for the nature reserve. No, there wasn't one. Just for the university. Okay, so this area coming up here, this is all considered the medical lake area. Oh, that's nice down there. 3 o'clock, where Jennifer's walking on. I'll pause here and I'll break out the D&D dice, and we'll do some role-playing. We didn't do any fishing back there, but since these are a lot closer and we're a lot lower. We also need to roll to see if any other unforeseen failures might happen to us, and we also have to give the bad guys, my nemesis, an opportunity to try to sabotage us even more today. Okay, so let's pull over here, check the time real quick. 48 minutes after the hour. Boy, time, along with this show, literally flies. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. So I'm going to try to speed this up a little bit. I'm going to roll a D10. Anything under an 8 and anything over an 8. I need to have a little bit more leeway. I'll go with the D12 today. Anything over 8, nothing happens as far as a failure happening. Okay, so we definitely have a failure happening there. And now let me roll for the bad guys. A 1 and a 6. Okay. So, 2 potential failures are going to happen. And they can happen. It doesn't mean they're going to happen. It's just that... And now let me go ahead and roll a D100 and see what the percentages are of these. So, 1 and 6 and 27%. There it is. Okay, now you can see our random failures. So number 1 is a flight control, and we rolled a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right flap stuck, and it was a 27% chance of a right flap being stuck. Let's save that. And we rolled a 6. A brake failure. And anything over a 3, nothing happens. Okay, a 3. So a right brake failure at 55%. All right, then we come back out here and we turn these on. Go to the fail list. Engine panel failure. That may still be on. Right, so the right brake failure happened instantly. So that's going to make landing a little bit tough. Engine panel failure, that shouldn't be on. That should be from last show, maybe. Yeah. Okay, so the right brake has failed. And that was our bad guys. That wasn't just a naturally occurring one. That was in storyline purposes, role-playing purposes. The bad guys won on that one. Okay, now we need to roll to see if we catch some fish. So this is a different type of roll. It's more of a difficulty class roll, kind of. So if we roll over a 10 on a D20, let's make it a 13 because we're not in an actually like fishing area. Designated fishing area. So anything over a 13. 6. We failed. Okay. Da, 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 da. Okay, here comes Fairchild Air Force Base. Now, when I said earlier, when I look at where we're going to fly today, and I think to myself, oh, this is going to be boring. This is going to be boring. And then I dig down into what we're going to be flying around. Like, let me unpause this and we'll head to this Air Force Base. It's right ahead here. And she's going to talk rather quick. But really pay attention to what this Air Force Base does. You know, that's really it. Its history is great. The purpose it serves here for the United States of America is great. And the training, the specific training it does, is very interesting. And the ninja thing might make some sense here in just a moment.
Having a rough time here.
You don't know rough times, Jennifer. You should try being a live streamer when things go wrong. Some of these pins you got to be in kind of close for them to kick on. So let me, as you can see, I'm trying to turn towards the pin on the board here.
Fairchild Air Force Base is a United States Air Force base, located approximately 12 miles southwest of Spokane, Washington. The host unit at Fairchild is the 92D Air Refueling Wing assigned to the Air Mobility Command's 18th Air Force. The 92 ARW is responsible for providing air refueling, as well as passenger and cargo airlift and aeromedical evacuation missions supporting U.S. and coalition conventional operations as well as U.S. Strategic Command strategic deterrence missions. Fairchild AFB was established in 1942 as the Spokane Army Air Depot, and is named in honor of General Muir S. Fairchild, a World War I aviator. He was the Vice Chief of Staff of the Air Force at the time of his death.
What? That's it? Okay, well, then I need to go to the wiki. All right, well, they are, well, that's just lovely. I thought she was going to do the whole thing and give you the full read on wiki. And she did not. So it is up to me as your live streaming host to get that information and do it live. Okay, Fairchild Air Force Base. Okay. Okay, so she read that they do the airlift and the aeromedical evacuation missions. It was established 83 years ago in 1942 as the Spokane Army Air Depot, and is named in honor of General Muir S. Fairchild, a World War I aviator from the state. He was the Vice Chief of Staff of the Air Force at the time of his death. During the Cold War, Fairchild was a Strategic Air Command. This place was a Strategic Air Command base for 45 years, with bombers and tankers, as well as missiles for a brief period. As of 2018, the 92nd Air Refueling Wing was commanded by Colonel Derek Salmi. Its command Chief Master Sergeant was Chief Master Sergeant Lee Mills. Okay. Since 1942, Fairchild Air Force Base Station has... Hello. It just vanished off my screen. Lovely. Hello. Where did you go? There you are. Since 1942, Fairchild Air Force Base, come on, has been a key part of the United States defense strategy from World War II repair depot to Strategic Air Command Bomber Wing during the Cold War to Air Mobility Command Air Refueling Wing during Operation Iraqi Freedom. Today, Fairchild's aircraft and personnel make up the backbone of the Air Force's tanker fleet on the West Coast. Fairchild's location, 12 miles, 20 kilometers west of Spokane, resulted in a competition with the cities of Seattle and Everett in western Washington. The War Department chose Spokane for several reasons. Better weather conditions for flying. The location is 300 miles from the coast and the Cascade Range, providing a natural barrier against possible Japanese attack. As an added incentive to the War Department, many Spokane businesses and public-minded citizens donated money to purchase land for the base at a cost of more than $125,000. These people bought 1,400 acres and presented the title to the War Department in January 1942. That year, the government designated $14 million to purchase more land and begin construction of a new Spokane Army Air Depot. Spokane Air Depot was served by a rail connection to the Great Northern Railway. From 1942 until 1946, the base served as a repair depot for damaged aircraft, yada, yada, yada. With the outbreak of the Korean War in 1950, both groups deployed to Japan and Guam. The 92nd departed on 4th of July 1950, and the 98th followed in August. The Stratofortress. In 1956, the wing began a conversion that brought the first of the 45B Stratofortress bombers on 26 March 1957 to Fairchild, followed by the first of 20 KC-135 Strato tankers on the 22nd February 1958. The 92nd became the first aerospace wing in the nation with the acquisition of the Atlas E intercontinental ballistic missile. With the new role and the addition of missiles, the 92nd Bomb Wing was designated as the 92nd Strategic Aerospace Wing. However, the designation remained longer than the missiles, as the Atlas missiles were soon obsolete and removed in 1965. Okay, and there's other really cool things, but we need to move along. Let me get to the part about the ninjas. Really? Are you going to hide it from me now? No, come on. We're They do a special type of training here. And now I'm not seeing it on this, and I don't know what I was looking at, I guess, last night. I don't pull usually anything up other than Wiki. Let me see. Give me another minute to try to find it, and I'll... They do a special survival, and it's not just survival, it's a bunch of things like survival and espionage and reconnaissance, and basically they're one of the few in the United States that trains these people on those things, making them basically like ninja. All right, well, let's see if I can find it someplace else. It's a Monday. Oh, 1994 shooting. On the 20th of June, 20-year-old Dean Melberg, an ex-Air Force member, entered the base hospital and shot and killed 4 people and wounded 22 others. That's horrible. All right, so Fairchild Air Force Base Special Training. Air Force Survival School, Fairchild Air Force Base. Okay. The 336th Training Group, located at Fairchild Air Force Base, Washington, is home to the U.S. Air Force's Survival, Evasion, Resistance, and Escape School, SARE. The 336 TRG consists of 3 squadrons with geographically separated detachments at JBSA Lackland, AFB Texas, and Ellison AFB Alaska. The survival school teaches 19 different courses to approximately 20,000 students at the 3 locations annually. Their mission statement: to provide at-risk of isolation personnel with the skills and confidence to return with honor. So maybe ninjas aren't the best, you know. I still say that there's a code. I don't know. But to return with honor. The training lasts 19 days and occurs 48 weeks out of the year. The majority of the course is taught at Fairchild. However, 6 days are spent approximately 70 miles north of the base in the mountains. This course consists of physical and psychological stresses of survival, hands-on training, and post-ejection procedures and parachute landing falls, survival medicine, recovery device training, and equipment procedures. In the field, students receive additional training which includes food procurement and preparation, day and night land navigation techniques, evasion, travel, and camouflage techniques, ground-to-air signals and aircraft vectoring procedures, and shelter construction. Finally, students are returned to Fairchild to receive code of conduct training, innovation, and conduct after capture. The 22nd TRS also conducts ejection and non-ejection water survival courses, which train aircrew members of all different aircraft. This training includes lessons such as techniques in signaling, rescue aircraft, hazardous aquatic life, food and water procurement, medical aspects of water survival, and life raft procedures. The 66th Training Squadron is the Air Force's sole source of training, developing and certifying new SARE specialists. The SARE Specialist Training Course, 5.5-month program designed to teach future survival instructors how to instruct aircrew members to survive in a broad variety of training environments. So I think you get the point I was trying to make, is they make ninjas. Right? Because, oh my gosh, oh my God, I don't believe what I'm about to see and what you're about to see. I don't even believe it. Completely unexpected. Oh no, I can't lose it. Oh no. I lost it. Did you see it? Where was that? I was circling around. Let me put the drone camera on speed, and try to make it move a lot quicker. See if we can find that again. I wanted to get a snapshot of that. I can't even believe what I was saying. Yeah, I think I found it again. Wait for it. Wait for it. Yeah, I think you can see it now. This is great. I've got to put this on. Oh, look what they were trying to spell out down there. You can see it. Wow, that's a trip. Again, I said I wanted to post that to the social media. Just give me a minute while we're staring at that. Not an Air Force base, and I'm not going to say which one. All right. Let me paste that. Okay, that's done. All right, what did I say I wanted to take you to next? I said the Air Force Base and the preserve. Oh, the battle. The battle. The battle. The climax of the show is the battle. And the battle on the map here from where we're at is just off our starboard side. We are here, and we just need to turn and come right to here. The battle.
What
Uh-oh.
is that?
That's that view I told you. Yeah, we were. That's that view I told you about, Jennifer, that sometimes doesn't let us control the aircraft. All right, we're headed towards it. Now, again, cast your mind back to the past. This place was filled with people from Europe who were doing like the Oregon Trail thing and coming out here trying to make a living. And they're running into a lot of different Indian tribes that are congested up in here. There's at least 3 or 4 in this area. One of them is called Nez Perce. That's the only one I can really remember at the moment. When they throw so many names at you and then they're like, this tribe is also known as this tribe and also known as this tribe, all of a sudden instead of dealing with 4, you're dealing with like 16 different names you got to keep track of. And I can't do it. So just to simplify things, we're dealing with basically 4 Indian tribes and a bunch of cavalry. And the Indians have been running around doing Indian things to other people, and the armies come in, and the army's been driven back a couple of times facing the Indians. And then so they bring in some more troops, and so on these ridges, pay particular. Pause it again. You got to pay particular attention to these ridges, and I couldn't tell you exactly which ridge it is, but this whole thing really involves a ridge. Come on, get me the right camera. And now we're still over here at the military base. It's a Monday. Okay. So you see everything's pretty flat, except for this is a huge ridge here. Okay, and then across the way, that ridge over there. But other than that, so these are the only two ridges in the area. All right. And so the military the group that has just arrived here is coming into the area. They have brand new weapons that are called, have been rebored, and they're coming from Harper's Ferry, which is in, I believe, Missouri. All right. Their rifles give them an amazing advantage, like 10 to 20 time advantage over the longest distance of what the Native Americans were using. All right, so big advantage. So they woke up one morning, and on these ridges were a whole slew of Indian. All right, and the Indians here believe that if they won this particular battle right here, they would get all the support from the nearby Indian tribes, and they would completely destroy and push back the white man from here. And so they sat there and they tried luring the cavalry and the infantry up to this hill, and then they were going to try to draw them out into the plains off of the ridges where they believed that their horses, so whether it was down here or somewhere, or on the other side or whatever over there, they were going to lure them off the ridge and down into flat ground where they would have the advantage. Okay. And all of a sudden they start getting smoked from great distance. So the infantry goes up the hill, as I understand. The horses go up the hill, and it's kind of working for a minute. The Indians are kind of getting everybody in position. But now the Indians have went down into the lower valley to try to draw the troops out. Well, the troops now have these rifles that can shoot a much further distance. And based on their past experience, they thought they were far enough away. And it was a terrible mistake. So they didn't, they marked the lines on the ground, like, if we get to this point right here, their rifles can't reach us. So they get to that point and, their rifles can reach us. And it scattered them. So then they bring out the cannons, and then the cavalry run around one side and sweep around and hit them there. And that was the nail in the coffin, the final nail in the coffin. That routed them badly. They said they scattered everywhere into the trees, and they went into hiding, and that was the end of that. They said it wasn't completely over, that there was still more battles that were going to happen. But this is the key moment where, after this, they didn't get the support they wanted, and I don't have the follow-up battle. I haven't got that far in the story. What were the final nails in the coffin? But as far as the big picture was concerned, and getting other Native Americans to join them, taking out the Europeans at this point, it all collapsed.
smoother or get me back on the ground.
You bet. Yeah, I understand why you're complaining now. Well, I'm going to get you to the ground faster than you wanted. I gotta remember, this plane is just downright dangerous.
Almost there, guys. So, Jennifer having a good time?
She is not having a good time.
The plane shook a lot, but it was all part of the thrill.
Oh, yeah. I meant to do that. Huh? And we have a brake failure. Make matters a little bit more interesting. Coming up, I'm thinking about Walla Walla tomorrow. Not 100%. I'm going to keep looking over other points of interest on the map. And but I think that at the moment that's where I want to go check out. It's all part of the ride too, Jennifer. Trust me.
Savage. Is that the right word?
Savage? It's par for the course for today, Jennifer, considering the story we were just talking about. Stop. Breaks out. We're here, Jennifer.
It wasn't perfect. Our guests still enjoyed flying over her plane. And you'll improve each time.
I will. You know I will. Oh my goodness, what an afternoon. Yeah, it's a Monday. Thanks for tuning in today, and I will see you tomorrow.